Hey guys, this is Kaisif and welcome back. And today we're going to be looking at a 9-digit password system in Minecraft. So here's the entire redstone. It seems a bit complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. They're just some very basic components. If you input the wrong password over here, the entire system completely shuts itself off, doesn't allow anything to work or anyone to get in or get out, I guess. And so that's what all that redstone does. So let's get down to it. So for this test, the password is in this sort of G shape. So you flicker the button, it does things, and you have to wait for the light to blink, and then you can input the next digit into your system. Once again, wait for the light. The reason it takes this long is because the items have to go through a certain number of hoppers and a water stream as well, as we'll get to in a bit. Light on again, next digit. So if you input the items too early, there's a chance that the system might break, so you're going to have to be slow about it. Of course, if someone's trying to break into your system, they wouldn't know about it, so that's a good thing. However, it does shut down the entire system, which, well, I mean, it keeps your things safe, sure, but yeah. Alright, 2 more to go. Wait for the light. Press the button. Now, as you can see, there's a very lame 2x1 door. It takes a bit of time for the last one to reset. And we flick that lever, that button, and as you can see, the door opens up. So you can go in, do whatever you want. While you're coming out, press this button, closes the door. Of course, you can make any door you like to. So let's get into how this entire thing works. Alright, so the first thing is that these buttons are droppers, as you can see, and each of the dropper has a particular item. In this case, this one's got an apple. So when you press the button, the dropper dispenses out an apple into the chamber behind, which then drops down into this hopper line. The hopper line feeds into a single chest. This chest has a hopper below it, and if you're good with redstone, this is a very basic item filter. So as you can see, we've got some dummy items, which are wither roses in this case, because why not? And you've got an apple, which, as I said, is the first item that we're going to be requiring for a password. So once the apple from here drops down and goes in, it's going to be picked up by the hopper, which will increase the signal strength, thus unlocking it, allows the apple to go through. This is item filter mech. Pause all of that. The hopper feeds into that dispenser, that dropper. Now, at the same time, the comparator over there from the output hopper gets updated when an apple goes through. Pause that observer, which again unpause that hopper, which allows the item that was originally in your item filter to come out. Thus, you have an empty item filter. There's no item in the first slot. That item in the first slot is going to be replenished by the first item in this secondary hopper. So this hopper has one blank spot, which is going to be your items, and 4 non-stackable items. The next time you press a button, that position is going to be refilled by the following item in your filter. Things are going to make sense in a bit. So right after that does its thing, the torch at the bottom also passes an additional line which does drop a mech in a second. So this torch passes all of this, which goes into a piston, which gives a 1 tick pulse to the powered rails, which powers them all. Now, because of the order in which powered rails get updated, they get updated farthest first, and the droppers get powered in this fashion. So this is a basic dropper cycler. So the dropper, the counter item in the first dropper gets pushed along, and it changes which comparator is powered. Each of the comparators power their own dropper with their own set of items in it. As you can see, in this case, it was a pufferfish. The items go through all of those hoppers and feeds into that replenishing chamber, as I just showed. So if we flick this button to the apple, we just get that. You can see it goes up to 2. All the items get sucked out, and you have a tropical fish in place now. So it's going to be a filter for a tropical fish, and as you can see, the puffer fish has been outputted. The comparator has changed, and the door has been unpowered as well. So the redstone to power the lamp is just a comparator into any one of those hoppers over there. Alright, so once the item has funneled through all the droppers, it gets to the final one, goes to the hopper line, and comes back to the beginning, which powers the apple one, which resets the system for the next run through. However, it takes an extra item so that it sets up the clownfish or the tropical fish to be set up. This also is the output for opening our door, hence. This comparator can be choose to output into any kind of piston, door, mech, or I don't know, anything you would like to. Alright, so now the problem with this is that this is just the powering system. This system can easily be broken. Now I'm going to go into why those 4 non-stackable items are there. Those are there so that we can keep the system from being broken apart by an invader, I guess. Alright, so when you put an item that isn't part of the item filter, all these items get sucked out because the redstone starts to not work properly, in simple language. So there's a bit of an overload of items passing through, which means that the comparator signal strength, as you can see, is being taken out from that hopper, will decrease. Once that decreases, it sort of runs into this extra comparator. Once again, stackable items have a very strong signal strength, non-stacks. So this comparator runs into another comparator taking an output from a 4 non-stackable item hopper. That comparator is on subtract mode. So the second that you lose any of the items in that hopper, the comparator is able to take an output which powers all of these hoppers, which locks all of them up, meaning no more items can come through. It also powers this line, which goes and locks the repeater, so you can't get an output from the system, so nothing will open. It also powers that piston, which just locks some of things up. It just doesn't allow the system to go on anymore. So yeah, that's the basic thing. Now, if the system is broken, you want to reset it to this, which is 111 and 18. Put an apple or the first item in the first one. Get 4 more non-stackables and replace your counter item into the second dropper. That will reset the entire system. Each of these droppers should have items that won't stack on each other. You can name them, or you can just use individual items. Don't use non-stackable items, but use items that stack but aren't stackable with each other. And the order in which the items go is the order in which you want the buttons to be pressed. Alright, so as you can see, it's currently set up to the tropical fish. If I click the button corresponding to that, it goes up to 2, this is replaced by a pufferfish. The comparator is shifted, which is now pumpkin pie time, which has been set up in the replenisher. We have a pufferfish which goes out, pumpkin pie has been replaced, and we got the item coming through. It's currently a cooked fish thing. Comparator has shifted again. So that's the system in action. So once again, once it goes to the end, everything just cycles around. Now, since we know that the next item is meant to be pumpkin pie, which is that one, but if we do a bit of, breaking of the system and put in a bunch of, wrong items, so this is me just completely messing up the password right now. Of course, nothing is happening anywhere else, but if we accidentally get the one that's meant, you see things do go very crazy. And yeah, as you said, that line gets powered. As you saw, some of the minecarts got sucked out. That repeater's been locked. All those hoppers have been locked as well. And the system has been shut down. You can't do anything more. And yeah, now you've just got to come back and repair it. You've got to get that 18th item there. The apple, as I mentioned, replace the non-stackables, so on. But once again, you can't do anything to replace it. Just nothing at all is going to work now. So that's the 9-digit password system. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time. So thanks a lot for watching.